And if I remember correctly, that was the kind of the end of the book, and then you were moving on, and then 2012 comes along, and there's like a hardcore fest. You know, they're kind of bringing back I don't know if it's like a reunion fest, bringing back a bunch of old bands, and the Cro-Mags. I should say a formation of the Cro-Mags or members of the Cro-Mags are actually
you could just call it the Faux Mags. Let's just keep it real, man.
They were going to play
a fake-ass band that does my songs with one of the old members, you know.
And they were going to play.
Yes.
And you were like, okay, you know, I'm going to go check it out. And you know what? I'll bring my bass. Maybe we'll get on stage.
But, you know what? There was actually 2 members of the original group playing that night, and my intention was to go and to extend my hand and say, you know what, guys, I love you guys. As much as I hate you, I love you, you know. And just because I like to think that at the end of the day, 2 people that were friends can laugh at their own foolishness. You know, I would like to think that people are able to look beyond their egos and forgive each other for being idiots, because God knows we all are at times. So yeah, I went to that show with the hope of maybe even being invited up on stage to play a few songs with them. And well, the rest is history.
Yeah, you show up and here you go. You're walking through the place. You get invited up the dressing room. Hey, come say hi. And then here we go back to the book. As soon as I walked in, I literally walked into the room, took 2 steps, the door shut, and I got punched from behind. Out of the corner of my eye, I could see it was some big dude with tattoos. It was like, bam, he hit me hard. I saw a bit of a flash bulb like you see when you get hit out of nowhere and you don't expect it. And then it was a rain of fists and kicks that were coming from every direction of the room. And this was a small room. It's a dressing room. And I started falling forward. I fell onto the couch and rolled onto my back and started throwing up kicks just instinctively to get people off me. I was getting jumped by at least 4 or 5 guys, probably more. There was a bunch of people in the room. I think I counted 7 or 8, although I couldn't even really count in all the chaos. At that point, I reached into my pocket. I had a little knife. I pulled it out, and it still had its sheath on, so I just tried to punch the first person that was in front of me and get them the fuck off me. Everybody started screaming. I saw the door of the dressing room open, and I started yelling, security, security. And then I left, and then I saw somebody pull the door shut. And I thought to myself, fuck, these dudes, their intention is to fuck me up and they don't want no one to see it. They're trying to beat the shit out of me. And I've seen all these dudes in a pack kicking people to the point where their brains don't fucking work. And I knew right then that if I didn't get the fuck out of that situation, I was not going to make it home in one piece. So I started flailing the knife as furiously as I could just to get myself the fuck out of that situation and toward the door. Everybody's screaming, he's got a knife, and I don't even know who it was or how they ended up in my face. I guess it was when they were lunging at my arm. I bit whoever was in front of my face. I tore a big piece out of his cheek. It was obvious it was a setup. When I saw the door pulled shut, I was fighting for my life. These guys wanted to kick the shit out of me, stomp me out, and no one would see it. There would be no witnesses, and that would be that. But that shit was not going down. I bit the one guy's face. I just tore his fucking cheek open right below his eye. He was screaming. Blood was running down his face. I bit someone's wrist as they were trying to get the knife out of my hand. I just didn't bite it. I tried to tear a piece out. That's when the bouncers broke into the room. At this point, I was on the bottom of a pile trying to stab and kick, and everybody started trying to grab my hand. They're like, give me the knife. Give me the knife. I'm security. I ended up getting dragged out onto the balcony, getting kicked. I got one good kick in my right face, and I'm surprised it didn't knock my teeth out. One dude screamed, get on your stomach, put your hands out in front of you. And this one big guy stepped on my back with both of his feet, and another guy was looking at my face and squeezing my throat. I don't know who the fuck was who. One guy looked at me and said, motherfucker, I'll kill you. I'll kill you. I will kick you in your fucking face until you are dead, motherfucker, if you don't stop moving. I saw Pete from Sick of It All in the crowd of people next to us with a freaked out look on his face. He was gesturing with his hands for me to calm down and stop resisting. He kept mouthing the words, Harley, chill, Harley. Please stop. Chill, Harley. That's when one guy said, put your hands out in front of you. I asked, are you a cop? He was like, yeah. So I said, show me your badge. And at that point, the boys in blue came running up the stairs. I was like, fine, I'm not moving anymore. Cuff me. I stuck my hands out in front of me, face down on the floor. I still didn't know that I'd been stabbed. I got 40 stitches in my leg. Thank God it was in my leg only. The cops cuffed me, turned me over, and that's when I saw the wound in my leg. It was grotesque. The blood was bubbling out of it. The fascia and tendons were literally hanging out of my leg. That's why people started saying that it was a compound fracture. The cops cuffed me. They put me on a chair, carried me down the stairs, and put me in the ambulance. It wasn't until I got cleaned up in the ambulance that they realized it was a stab wound.
Yeah, it was a fun night.
So, and you kind of already talked about this. I mean, they basically arrest you immediately. It's total melee.
Yeah.
And
I actually, when I got arrested, I thought we were all going to get arrested and it was just going to be like a bar fight and everybody get pulled in. But all these fucking guys started making statements that were basically that I launched into the room and started just stabbing people. Mm-hmm. So, you got a room full of people saying, he did it, he did it, he did it. And you got one of me saying, what the fuck happened? And who the fuck you think is going to get walked out in cuffs?
Yeah. And you end up on Rikers.
Yeah.
Rikers Island, for those of you that don't know from around the world, is a jail, New York jail, Rikers Island. And meanwhile, the media, is putting out all these, the version that's getting told to the media, which is that you instigated it and you were a horrible person, et cetera, et cetera. And now you're out at Rikers Island, going back to the book. All night you'd hear people screaming and talking shit. The youth offenders were in the same building as us, right next door. So all night you'd hear them screaming, suck my dick, motherfucker, I'll fuck you up, suck my dick.
Suck my, fuck you, suck my dick, I'll fuck all night long. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, man.
Riot cops came in all fucking night. Then as soon as the sun would start coming up and they'd finally shut up, the seagulls would start making noise. It was nonstop. Ironically, it was the best sleep I'd gotten in a while, ever since I started going through the bullshit with my ex. My life had truly become a nightmare. I remember at one point I was looking out through my window through the gates. It was a beautiful sunny day and I could hear the birds, and a butterfly flew past my window, and I was like, damn. Right then and there, that butterfly represented freedom. What I wouldn't do to be free right then, I had no idea what was going to happen. My lawyer told me I was possibly looking at 2.5 years in jail. Rough.
Yeah, I remember that butterfly very vividly.
Papillon. You get that?
Yeah.
You get that?
I know what a
Papillon. It's also a
It's
famous
French,
prison movie. Yeah.
It was not in France.
Yeah, it's like whatever island.
Yeah.
They were on there. That was a prison island.
Yeah, it was a fucking no joke prison island.
Yeah, it was a no joke prison island.